Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're at today. Hope whatever you're doing today is a good day. Today's kind of a odd day for me. A lot to reflect on. It's not really odd, I guess, but it's exciting to think about. Today's Friday the 13th, February 13th, which means nothing to me because I'm not superstitious, and I hope you aren't. And this kind of might prove that superstition is just that, superstition. 16 years ago, on this day, Friday the 13th, 2010, I quit my regular job. That was my last day at a place that I thought I was going to be there for a long time because it was a family business, and I really enjoyed working there. We did a lot of interesting stuff, but there was some changes that happened, and then I had the opportunity to get my inspection authorization along with my A&P, and I had the opportunity to go on my own. It was kind of a very thought out decision. It started back in probably like November, December of 2009, but it didn't really come to fruition until February. And just some insight now, it's been 16 years since I pulled the trigger and I quit my regular paying job with a truck payment, a house payment, insurance, all that liability stuff that normal people have, to work on my own. And I was scared. I was really scared, nervous, but I was hopeful because I had the skill set and I had the drive to make it work. And I worked like a dog for I still work quite a bit, but I'm relaxed now. But the first 5 years it was a little stressful, a little bit of anxiety, but I had a lot of fun doing it. In the first year, I was working out on my truck. I was the infamous tailgate mechanic. Went from airport to airport, from the Dalles to Cottage Grove to Scappoose to Seattle, and everything in between. So it was really stressful for me because I didn't spend a lot of time at home. I had the opportunity to help my sister and her family out. They lived in my house and took care of my house while I was on the road. Stayed up at my mom's house in Hood River. Stayed in hotels. So yeah, it was pretty stressful, but I made it work. And here I am. My wife Cammie brought it up to me last night, and I didn't realize that today, 16 years ago, in 2010, I quit. It was my last day there at Metal Innovations. It was very surreal thinking about that, and it still is. I'm like, woke up this morning going, wow, how in the world did 16 years go by? And anybody that's looking to go out on their own or has the opportunity to do it, if you do it, do it right. Pay attention to your customers. Pay attention to your work. Don't cut corners, because you now are responsible for everything that you do. Doesn't matter if it's a small job, changing the oil, putting safety wire on an oil filter, changing out spark plugs and make sure they're torqued, or doing a full-fledged rebuild on a Cessna or a piper doing fabric work or metal work or whatever you're skilled at, welding, don't cut corners. Don't let them push you around. You'll end up not charging enough in the beginning, which is fine, because the quality that you'll have with the quantity will make up for itself. So if you do good work, you show up on time, and you do what you say you're going to do, they'll always come back. I've had faithful customers from the very beginning that are still with me today. And I've had a lot of customers move on because they either relocated, they sold their airplane, or they found something a little bit more convenient for them. And that's fine. I don't have a problem. The first couple years, I was worried about where jobs would come from. But the Lord always provided. As it says in the Lord's Prayer, give us our daily bread. And He did. Every opportunity that came along that I could work with, I was able to do. And I never missed a mortgage payment, never missed a truck payment. I paid off my school loan. I did a lot of stuff, and I still have the opportunities, and I'm very blessed and very thankful, not only just to my customers, but that the Lord made it possible. He always provided for everything that I needed, and He knew when I needed it too, because there was some jobs that came around that paid for something that I didn't know I had to pay for. These last couple months have been kind of relaxed. Since Christmas, basically, I've been taking time off, except for beginning of February, I started doing the annuals up again. But the way I have it scheduled, it's already out till June. So I have no shortage of work, and I can make work for myself if I want to. But I don't have anybody helping me now, and that's the other thing. I've had several people over the years help me out, and it was good that they were there. Everything from friends to family. I had both of my brothers working for me at one time. I had, so let me make sure this is running still. It is. I had a couple people working for me that were A&Ps or in school, and then they got their A&Ps and they did really good work, and they kind of ruined me for having employees because they work so well. And I didn't have to babysit them. And then most recently, I had Andrea work for me, and she did really good. She got her A&P, and she moved on, and she's doing really well for herself, from my understanding. And I'm glad I was able to be there for her and get her going in the right direction. She went from tossing pizzas and serving coffee to being an aircraft mechanic. So pretty proud of her. With this last 2 years, I haven't had anybody working for me. Last year was a lot of work. I had a lot of stuff going on. I thought I was going to be able to keep up, and I did for the most part. I had a couple jobs fall in my lap that I need to finish, and I was able to do that before Christmas, except for one. And it was an easy one because we just had to wait for parts to show up, and it was off campus, so it was over at Twin Oaks, a Kit Fox, and there was a couple items that needed to be replaced on the Rotax, and we got that fixed right after the first. Oh, excuse me. And then I had the rest of January to tie up some loose ends and clean the shop, and I've really done a lot in the shop. Got rid of a bunch of garbage, cleaned up all the horizontal surfaces that were collecting stuff from years ago that I was like, oh, I haven't seen this in a while. Throw it out. Um, old hardware and just stuff that's collected because we were just working so much and trying to get stuff done and just couldn't, didn't have time to clean up. So I got the shop pretty much organized the way I want it. There's a few more things that I need to do, but it's not a big deal. There'll be plenty of time in between stuff from here on out, I think. And hopefully we can start working on the, I'm going to finish my airplane. I have a little bit more wiring to do, the throttle control, and then I work on interior. And I got some seats from Kent in Nebraska to replace the seat cushions. I just had the old style 140 stuff in there, and mine's the new style that's supposed to have the frame on there. So I got that frame, and I'm gonna put that stuff in there. And I have an ultralight I need to put together, get it going, get it flying, so I can sell it. And then we have the Citabria 7 GCAA that at some point is going to have to be put together or sold as a project. I'd like to put it together and get it flying. We'll see what happens. But over the 16 years, it's been a whirlwind of different projects, everything from full cover restoration of a J3 of a Super Cub that had really low time, one owner status. That's down in California now. I think the J3 is down in California too. A couple sets of 140 wings. 2, 3, 4, 5 big sheet metal jobs. A 210 that had a gear up, a 177 that had a gear up, a 140 that had a gear axle brake, a 140 that had bulkheads cracked, a 170 that ground looped here like the first week or month I was here at this hangar. Lots of reskins of control surfaces and making baffling, swapping out engines, crazy stuff. So this hangar was completely empty when I moved in here, and now I got so much stuff in here I don't know what I'm going to do with. I got parts that people drop off all the time and whatever. Anyway, I just wanted to say, if you any A&P out there that's worth their weight, and unless you're in a good place, in a position, in a company that's treating you well, and you're deciding you're going to go out on your own, well, let me rephrase that. If you're in a company that's treating you well, you don't really want to go anywhere, that's fine. But if you're in a place where you can leave and take off and do something on your own and expand, go for it. I mean, there's so much work out there for the general aviation part of it. From my understanding, a lot of the guys that get their A&P license, they go to the airlines where the big money is. But then you're stuck in a union, and there's schedules. You'll have to work graveyard or the line, and there's all this stuff that you get stuck in doing, but you do make good money. I've worked the airlines. I worked at Horizon Air for a number of years, and it was okay. I learned a lot. I don't regret it, but only if I had to, I'd do it again. I've worked in manufacturers. I worked at Beechcraft, working on the Hawker 800 XP back in 98, 99, 98. And then in 99, I worked at Citation, working on the Citation 10. So, yeah, I've done a little bit of everything, but I like the general aviation because there's always something different every day. Everything from sheet metal to fabric to rigging to engine to troubleshooting, all that stuff, especially with the older stuff. You know, these small airplanes are getting old. They're anywhere between 40 to 75, 80 years old. So yeah, my airplane's creeping up on 80. There's some of them, the 1946, that's 80 years old. Is it 80? Yeah. So pretty crazy. But there's different side of stress when it comes to working on your own. I didn't have a family. I wasn't married, so I was single, so I could pretty much do what I want. If I had to do it over again and I had a wife, I would have to do it a little bit differently. But I still think I could make it. If I had kids, that might be different too. So those are factors that you have to weigh out if you're going to do it. But the industry does need aircraft mechanics for the general aviation, especially the older stuff. People that know how to work on them are either retiring or dying or just not doing it anymore. So there's a legacy of knowledge that's being lost, and that's why I post videos sometimes on things that I do, because that's the way I was taught. And at least then it's trapped in the audio, in the video, as knowledge, and whoever can consume it afterwards, it's benefit to them. So anyway, today's a good day. 16 years, starting Monday. But 16 years ago, I left my job as a steady paycheck to do this on my own. And thank the Lord, praise the Lord for all the blessings that I've had since then. So may you have a good day wherever you're at. Enjoy the day, and happy Friday. God bless. See ya.